Any discussion of flooding disasters in the U.S. must include the 1889 Johnstown flood, caused by heavy rain that led to the collapse of a poorly maintained dam. That flood was top of my mind last week when I heard the news about the horrific floods in northern Libya that followed a similar script. Now, Libya is a country of about 7 million people in North Africa, bordered on the east by Egypt and directly across the Mediterranean from Italy and Greece. The worst flooding occurred in northeastern Libya in Derna, a coastal city of about 90,000 people built on the ruins of an ancient Greek colony. Derna is about 150 miles east of Benghazi and 600 miles east of Tripoli, the capital city. The storm that produced the heavy rain in Libya was a Medicane, the unofficial name given to a low-pressure system that acquires some tropical characteristics over the Mediterranean. 1 or 2 Medicanes per year is typical, but they rarely track towards Libya. This one originated near Greece. It first headed a bit to the west, then turned south and east, making landfall near Benghazi on September 10th. In this animation of total precipitable water, basically how much water you could instantaneously squeeze out of the air, the red and deep orange represent moisture values that would be high in late summer, even along the U.S. Gulf Coast, where the climate is much wetter than in Libya. More than 16 inches of rain fell in a 24-hour period just west of Derna, where less than an inch is average in September and 11 inches is average for the year. But it wasn't just about the rain. Here's a close-up showing the location of Derna, which sits on a narrow coastal plain. The circles locate 2 earthen dams built about 50 years ago in the 1970s, made mostly of clay, rocks, and soil. The closest dam to Derna is just about a mile uphill from the city, the other 8 miles away. In total, a holding capacity of about 800 million cubic feet of water. That could fill 10,000 Olympic swimming pools. Experts warned for years that both dams needed immediate maintenance. Under the stress of the runoff from the heavy rain, both dams collapsed, unleashing a massive flash flood. Water roared down the Wadi Derna River, which is a dry riverbed most of the year, sending a wall of water through the city center, inundating buildings and washing away at least 5 bridges. From above, the before and after images of Derna show a blanket of mud with about a quarter of the city destroyed. 2 days after the flash flood, newly formed lakes in the desert were still visible inland from Derna, the blue areas on this visible satellite image. Current estimates are that the Medicane that produced the heavy rain and the subsequent flooding killed at least 4,000 people, making it the deadliest storm in Africa since at least 1900 and the costliest Medicane on record. Stay tuned. Our extended forecast is next.